she used to like call me and like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm out with some friends. You're out with friends?
Huh?
I'm like, sorry, what?
Yeah, bro. I don't give a beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, 66% of long distance relationship found that physical intimacy was the biggest challenge. 33% explicitly said that it was the sex that they missed the most.
And you say, oh yeah, don't catch feelings in it. We won't catch feelings in it. This is just a normal thing in it. One person always ends up catching feelings in it. Yeah, it's never me.
Obviously, the top one, as we've mentioned throughout this episode, is the soft and tender clotting of one's cheeks.
Mad.
And if not, you're not ready for a long-term relationship.
Yeah, I do think it's possible. Don't do it. No, I'm joking.
Hello and welcome to the Family Podcast with your two favorite brothers. My name is Sammy.
My name is Don.
And this is the home for the ultimate family guys, where we bring you tips and tools to thrive in your long-term relationship and help yourself along the damn way. This is the family table, and today we are talking about long distance relationship.
Mad.
Yes, it's been a long time coming.
What you say every time you're coming with a new jam for them? Wow, boy.
Hey man, hey, welcome to the show. If you're new, if you're not, welcome back. Hit the subscribe button because we are guaranteed to bring you jokes and value as well. So lick that like button. You know
lick it?
Yeah, lick it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, bro, come on now.
No, but the way that you said it, innit, you just did it so smooth, like lick that like button. I was like,
you know what I'm saying? Lick it, press it.
It's not that kind of show. Family vibes, bro.
Yeah, nah, not this family, fam. We talk the real.
Alright, mad.
Yeah. So today, we'll talk about long distance relationships. This is episode 146, just for your reference.
Have you ever had one?
A long distance relationship?
Yeah.
Nah, yeah. You know what it is, yeah?
Your wife
one of them.
listening.
Nah, it wasn't a long distance relationship. I can't really call it that. It was like a MSN thing, yeah. And
like
I wasn't
back in the day.
I wasn't really dating her. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, all right.
And then
cool.
This was mad because this is slightly off topic, but I was getting ready to go off to uni, and like for some reason we were talking. She got it in her head that we were a couple, even though we weren't.
Mad.
And then, because she lives far, bro, I'm talking maybe the Midlands or something like that. So the likelihood of us meeting was 0.
Okay.
And I went off to uni, and then she used to like call me and like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm out with some friends. You're out with friends?
Huh?
I'm like, sorry, what?
Wow, but
yeah, so it was a weird dynamic. So that's the closest thing I've had to
Xbox,
that.
PlayStation buddies
bro,
that
come
got
on,
to
bro. Like, I don't know what she was doing.
Wild.
But I've never had a relationship where I've been
traveling.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been with somebody, and then we've had to make a decision where somebody's gonna go somewhere for school, or somebody's gonna go somewhere for work. And we have to work out that distance. All right,
cool.
Yeah, so,
I hear you.
But I know that you've obviously had it. So we're definitely gonna...
the setup, boy.
Yeah.
So this episode literally just about me still.
Yes, we're gonna rip you apart in it and get all the knowledge and
there ain't no knowledge, don't do it. No, I'm joking. No, I'm playing.
So obviously, you went off to uni.
Yeah.
And your uni was in Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Shout out the Portsmouth Massive, because I went there a couple of times and everyone was real nice to me. You never know what it's like going to a different space in it, but that uni,
I tell you straight up, it was lit. Yeah. I found like good peoples. Do you know what I'm saying? In Portsmouth, it's people who are, you know, that by the sea people, chill, easy, want to go out, chill on the beach. Do you know what I'm saying? Play a bit of footy on the beach, like them kind of people. Yeah. Which is not. It wasn't normal for a Southeast London kid. Like when we were playing football on road. Do you know what I'm saying? We weren't traveling. I didn't hit up my mandem.
Parks.
Parks. Like I never hit up my mandem ever and was like, yeah, let's pull up to a beach. Do you know what I'm saying? So a lot of the culture in Portsmouth was very different and opened my eyes to a lot of things. So yeah, shout them out.
So my first question is, was it as hard as people make it out to be? Because when I talk to people about long distance relationships, their immediate responses. Couldn't do it, too difficult, bun it.
Yeah, see, the thing is, I did it in 2 ways, innit? So I had my flight situation,
Yeah.
So I had a situation where I flew to another country. And then I had my situation where I was working in uni to get my degree, obviously. So, what was your question again?
Is it as hard as people make it out to be?
I think it depends what kind of people you are. Yeah, I know that's a very liberal answer, innit? It is hard. I do think. I think there's a level of, like when you're playing, I don't know, any game and you've got the difficulty level. It's definitely not a normal like difficulty level, innit? Like you've chosen a bit higher for yourself. But I do think it's possible, but it depends what kind of people you are.
So if you're horny, no.
Yeah. Bro, if you're a horny person, no. You can't do it. If you're an emotional person, you can't do it, innit? Like if you feel you're like someone who, you see they've got what is that thing that someone made me do recently? It's like you see like love languages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you're someone who's touchy-feely, it's not gonna run for you. Because think about it, you're gonna be in bed thinking, right, I need to hug onto my man. You got a man, so you can't invite no other man into your bed. Or for the man, them, you got a gal, you can't invite no other gal into your bed, innit? Like, this is a family podcast, innit, everybody? Make sure you like and subscribe. But, so, that you can't do that, innit? If you're trying to follow our method of doing stuff. If you want to follow our next method, lock off this thing, not for you, innit? Go cheat whoever you want on your long-distance relationship, innit? But for us, it's kind of like, you turn around and just like, oh, like my girl ain't here, innit?
It's just me.
I stopped doing this, bro. One day take your video down
magic number
for singing all these tunes.
Innit? Bun iTunes, come over here, innit? We give you the baggers.
Wow, boy. So no, definitely. I'd definitely say it's hard.
And what did you learn about yourself going through? Was there anything?
Yeah, bro. Like, I don't give a beep. Yeah, like, do you know why? Yeah, because for me, I've become very comfortable in being in my own zone. So just to give you like some backstory, Sammy already knows this. Growing up in it, there's 3 years difference between me and Sammy, 10 years difference between myself and my youngest brother. So when Sammy went off to uni, like my little brother wasn't even born. Do you see what I'm saying? So I went from sharing a room and having a brother and discussing all of these things to just absolute silence. Like certain times I wake up and be like, yo, Sammy, oh yeah, he's at uni. Do you see what I'm saying? So I learned how to maneuver by myself and I learned how to maneuver with other people. So actually, I don't care which one is which. Do you know what I'm saying? So whereas that's why I'm saying if you're an emotional person, it may not work for you, because if you're someone who's kind of dual trained like that, you just go into a zone where you're like, all right, I'm by myself. It's not always I can't lie, it's not always a good thing, because you can become very tunnel visioned in it. But you go into this thing where it's like, it's just me in it, so let me just do my thing. So all now your girls all messaging you and that, and you're like, I'm in a my thing zone, innit? Like linking up with a man them, having barbecues. Like your mind really isn't on the fact that your girl's not with you, because that would make you think, raw, why am I even doing this, innit? So you find stuff to block it out and you find coping mechanisms, and then you see each other when you can see each other. So I think, it's a tight one. I think I learned about myself in it that I just like either way, I'm a survivor. Do you know what I'm saying? I just didn't
results based person. Yeah. I hear that. Next question. If you had to do it again, would you do anything differently?
Wow, boy. If I had to do it again, would I do anything differently? Nah, Stella.
No.
Yeah, I was on point for him.
You got a gold star, yeah?
Yeah, I give myself a gold star. Like, do you know why? Yeah, because I'm also a very accommodating person. I know that about myself, innit? So, like, when she was like, oh, can you come back to London, innit? Like, if I got time on my schedule, I'm a uni student, do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's always time in your schedule, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. So I would make the effort to come back to ends. Like, why wouldn't you do that? If that's your significant other and you got to deal with long distance, then that's the thing. It's different when you got to catch a flight.
Yeah. And
I think that's what not everybody understands. So you got to be in a place in a relationship where both of you can have conversations to say, raw, like, boom, I can't fly this day. I can't. Like, I've got a job. I've got stuff to do. There's no way that I can fly this day, innit? So, yeah.
And I think the challenge is obviously the further away it is, or the more money it is to travel, then that's gonna put additional strain.
Can't lie. The more constraints you put in there, it's like, you know, the more constraints you put in the way, like, especially like, think about it now, petrol prices, delayed flights, if you're in a long distance relationship, it's very peak for you.
Yeah.
FaceTime is your best friend.
Yeah. And just to clarify for anyone who didn't hit, he said hump that dog. So yeah. Just so people know. Yeah. That's if you pay $10.99 a month, you can hear the bleep words, you know, the uncensored. No, I'm playing. We never have that. Okay, so the last question for you. Knowing all of the stuff you know and having to have done it twice.
Well, once, but two situations.
Yeah. I call that twice, bro.
Okay, cool. I hear you.
Yeah. So would you do it again?
Nah, bro. Nah. It's not for me, innit? Like, not because I'm an emotional person or something.
Because he's haunted, that's why.
Yeah. No, not even that. I think, do you know what? I think I know myself too well, and other people don't know themselves enough. That sounds peak, innit?
Yeah, it does.
No, but
Zeus
no, sorry, bro. Like, I just gotta say what it is. Because every time I give someone an ultimatum, they're on it, and then they just prove me right, innit? So I don't know how to say it another way, innit? Like, if you're like me, innit? Because there's some guys who are like me, innit? Who unnecessarily predict the future, innit? And it can be annoying for their partners, innit? It just is what it is. But you know yourself, innit? You know that you can pattern. It's like when you say to like two significant others, well, not even two significant others, two people who are just cheating, and you say, oh yeah, don't catch feelings, innit? We won't catch feelings, innit? This is just a normal thing, innit? One person always ends up catching feelings, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never me. Card. Told you that, like, whatever I'm in for, that's what. I don't know how my mind's like that, innit? I've just been given two different lives a lot, if that makes sense. Yeah.
I feel like you're objective based as well, so.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, what do you want, innit? So, like, if your plan is marriage and you want to marry that person, you don't really have a choice. Do you get what I'm saying? Long distance is what you have to do. Long distance is, like, if you're telling me that's your person, innit? And you want to get married, like, what else can you do? You can't do nothing. So, yeah, for me, it's just, it's redundant, innit? Like, you got to make it work, innit? But I don't think everybody else sees the world how I see it. Yeah. So do you see it like that?
No, I do. I think if you've got an end goal in mind, then it dictates a lot of your movements.
So let me ask you a question. If Rox moved long distance, would you try and make it work?
We have to. We got kids.
Yeah.
I just did an episode lambasting people about giving up during hard times.
Yeah. So
that it would be a hard time.
Okay. Would you have done that before you got married?
Probably not.
If you knew Rox, though, like, because you lot spent a long time together as friends, innit? So if she was like, I'm really serious about this.
We've had this conversation, and she said she doesn't think she'd be able to do a long distance relationship.
Fair.
And me, I'm one of them horny brothers.
Yeah, I knew it. Cause you kept trying to slap it on me, but I was like, this is just a brother projecting.
No, you know, I'm honest about my thing.
Yeah, I know, but
you know, they say family ties.
Say apple don't fall.
Hey, listen, I only didn't want to say that because I didn't want to implicate my daddy in it. Wait, buddy.
Hey, it's Pete. If we go to the, do you know what I found out? Yeah, shout out to all my uncles and aunties who stream the podcast, innit? So like, I was speaking to one of our aunties, innit? I won't put out the name and stuff. And she was like, I was like, we did another episode of the podcast, so like, I'm cool, innit? And she was like, yeah, I'm glad you're doing well and recovery's kind of working, innit? And then she was like, oh yeah, but I know you did another episode. I watched the podcast, did it? And I was like, so now if daddy gets all of the smoke at the African gatherings, that's your problem.
Hey, it is what it is, isn't it? So if you've been in a long distance relationship, please let us know how it went for you. And if you've got any tips for the community, then just drop it in the comments because we always appreciate that. Now, we will give you 4 tips.
Okay.
Yeah, to work with. So the first one is don't be a needy bastard. Don already alluded to that.
Yeah, come on, man.
Because nobody thinks that 50 messages, 30 voicemails, 10 missed calls is cool.
Yeah.
It comes across very creepy, stalkerish, innit? And if you're like a demented, possessive person, it's really not gonna work.
And flights, man. Flights is a killer. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, imagine how many times you got to go through customs, how many times you got to empty your bag, how many times you got to reload your bag, sitting there, flight delay. Do you know what I'm saying? So choose your places carefully if you're gonna do it. That's what I'd say.
Yeah. Because sometimes people don't actually have like, say, for example, you're part of a company and the company says, listen, we need you to go out to Vegas and work in Vegas. It's a brilliant opportunity. You're going to get a pay rise, but you have to work there, or you have to work in the Emirates or places that are quite long to travel to.
Yeah.
You're either going to do it because you want to do well in your job, or you're going to have to break up a relationship. And like I said, if you got kids, that's not a straightforward answer.
Yeah.
So
I'll let you do the thing. 'Cause I don't want to keep adding and then
no, it's a conversation because I use this as building blocks.
Yeah. Calm. I mean, I think that if you're gonna do something like that, a massive career choice. So if you're gonna fly out, then you may want to talk about flying out with your significant other in it. Like, you may want to have a conversation. Is this a cheaper place to live? Do you know what I'm saying? Is this more beneficial for our children? Like, what kind of schools are there? Obviously, again, we're talking from the family guy perspective, innit? Yeah. So if it's just your link, like, I don't see why you would fly out. But
imagine traveling with your link to Vegas.
Yeah, moving to your link's country.
Uprooting your whole...
Yeah. And then she finds another link and then just looks at you. Or, you know, Americans love dating, innit? So they'll be like, oh, we was just dating. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's bad. You're going to be in a position where some suave American brother's like, that's your man?
Yeah.
And she's like, he's really just a friend.
Oh, come on. Yeah, no, you can't have that. That's
anyway, wild. Second, rules. Rules. People are not telepathic. People do not understand your intention. You must make it very specific. And people are different. So you need to decide whether you're going to see other people while you're out there and it's a what do they call it? No questions asked type relationship. Whether you're going to stay, whether you're going to stay committed, how many calls you want to have roundabout because people forget that stuff. So for example, you don't discuss how many phone calls you want to have while you're away. And then all of a sudden you get this long message. I just think it's funny how I've been away for 2 weeks and you can't text me.
Mad.
Didn't discuss it. So if you want to discuss,
I'll be like, text away, just don't call me, baby. No,
you know, and again, that's another thing. Do you prefer text? Do you prefer
calls? Yeah.
Because if somebody's always texting, the other person might feel like there's something shady going on.
Yeah.
Why you don't want to pick up your phone, but you might be excessively busy, and all of these things need to be talked about in order for your relationship to thrive when you're going that way.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to plan though. I'll just say that. I do think it's hard to plan. I think, as I said, I think humans go for the best possible option, innit? And where they can get more time, they'll get more time. So it may start with 4 times a week. And then it's like, I mean, I did say 4 times a week, but I just don't think 4 times a week is enough, you know? Like, we don't actually see each other. We don't get to do the... Then it's like, okay, I can increase to 5 times. Then 5 times becomes the norm. After a year, you want a review period. Now you want 6. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but I think you've got to be accommodating.
If you're a woman and you're asking a man to call you 6 times, what do you think he's doing?
Well, there's
no way I would agree to that.
So this is
like, if my missus called me and was like, I want to be on the phone with you 6 times a day, I'll be like, no.
But I think this is for me, this is where the catch-22 comes in, because 6 times a day is a lot of times to call, innit? But so is 1 call for 4 hours.
Yeah, and I'm not doing that either.
Yeah, and anyone who knows me knows I can chat for England. So sometimes I dig myself a hole. Do you see what I'm saying? So most of the time I'll say to people, just text me, because I can talk for England. We'll just talk. I'll just be on vibes. Do you know what I'm saying? But I haven't done anything. So when 8 o'clock comes now and I was supposed to edit the podcast, I was supposed to look through this, and I'm supposed to do this, and I'm supposed to do that. Now I can't do any of that stuff. and then the next day you want to speak to me for like an hour or something, because you want to check in, innit? You want to check in with your significant other and say, how are you doing? Is everything okay? And just get a feel for how their day went, innit? Most people do that. But now it's like, I'm scared to speak to you again, because if I get to another 6 hours, then that's 2 days.
Yeah,
do you know what
I
I'm saying?
couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I ideally want maybe a couple of times a week, maybe once a week. Because
Is it on telephone?
Yeah, telephone wise.
Okay. Yeah.
Messaging, you can have something little every single day in it if you've got the time. But to me, phone calls are a big imposition on a person. And a lot of the time you find if you're talking a lot, you lose you lose interest. Two, you don't have anything to talk about. Nothing happened between the time you called me yesterday at 7 and today at 7. That's remotely interesting. You're just wasting my time. Don't do that.
You're worse than me, man. I thought I was bad.
Yeah. And 88% of couples reported that technology made them feel closer. So it is true that you should talk over Skype. There's things like Skype now. And imagine like we were back in the day and you had to dip your pen, like your quill
in the ink.
And write it and send an official stamp. You know, we don't have to do that today. So don't make it
I can't lie, now you've got people powering sex toys remotely.
Yeah. That's mad.
So yeah, it's mad. Yeah. It's mad.
And the third one that I'm gonna do is get nasty.
Okay. I feel like we always knew this was gonna be on Sammy's list.
All right.
But he can do it. He's a married man, isn't it?
Yeah, but also
if I start talking like this, people start being like, "Oh, Don the Gigolo, the Zara man stepping out." Yeah, nah.
But listen, yeah, it's not just me saying this. Yeah, so a study published in the New York Post found that.
Can I just say this is what I love about Sammy? But go ahead.
Yeah, 66% of long distance relationship found that physical intimacy was the biggest challenge. 33% explicitly said that it was the sex that they missed the most. Because you're nasty. Like me. We nasty together, man. You know?
I hear it though. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, especially if you're a married couple. Do you get what I'm saying?
Let's not pretend. It's a
You can see it. You can see the gleam in everyone's eye when they go, "We're just booking our honeymoon." Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know the deal.
Yeah.
Man them shell out on the nice.
I want to let everyone know, when you go on a honeymoon, if your whole honeymoon was excavations and good food, your man would be upset.
I'm glad you let them know.
So I'm just pulling it out there.
Imagine that. You just did tourists around the whole country, ate nice foods and came back to yard.
I'd slept. No! No way. No way.
What do you say? You get a refund?
Yeah, of the wedding. Selling me faulty goods.
Refund.
Yeah, no way. Like,
and you got it easy. You didn't even have to pay dowry.
Hey, listen. Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not one of these guys who like to pretend that sex is not an important part of a fully functional relationship.
Oh no, facts.
My issue is when sex is all you think about, and you don't make progress in your life, and you hold your wife ransom because you always want to sleep with them.
Fair.
And then you use that as an excuse to go out in the world and do your foul stuff and say, well, it's because you weren't giving it to get control in it.
Yeah, no, facts.
Yeah, so
I feel like every man should practice some level of control. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you should try go a little time without busting your nut.
Yeah, bro, it's good. You realize that you're stronger than your urges. And that's an important thing to learn as a man about your life.
It's like food fasting, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? You realize that you have to rely on something else sometimes because you can be dying of hunger, but, you know, can't consume nothing. So
yeah.
What else we got for them, Sammy?
Get each other a memorable gift.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's hard to get your back blown out when you got a teddy bear from your man on the ceiling or on the little.
All right, let's just run this, innit? Because you're 80s baby or something like that. Yeah, it ain't hard no more. It ain't that hard no more, bro. Like, we got people chefing people in the street and all that. Trust me, a girl do you dirty, your little toy will be sitting there, still be getting the insides.
I'm saying it makes it more
Yeah, I hear
you're more conscientious of the fact that you're cheating on your partner.
I think
if there's nothing there, it's like, imagine somebody was having an affair and in their bedroom they had a massive picture of their wedding day.
Yeah,
of their family. Yeah. You know,
even a man them rolling in or the girl rolling in is gonna be like,
yeah, exactly. It creates
it creates like this. You know, like people who've got like tattoos and names on them as well, and like you could tell like the female is just preying, thinking, huh? Like, what's
because there's no way that I could, if a woman had like her ex-partner tattooed on her, I have to walk away.
I can't lie. Yeah, I distinctly remember. I've got no idea who it is. Yeah.
I thought there was revelations coming.
No, I don't know who it was, and I wouldn't bait out their name anyway, innit? But I remember they were like, "Oh, I should really put this in a nice way, innit?" But they weren't making love because it was a fling, innit? So they were having a fling. For those of you who know what that means, innit? And for those of you who know what this means, innit? They were clotting the thing, and then they saw a picture of them and their man, innit? Like on the bedstand or something like that. Just slapped it down one time and just carried on still.
Going. Yeah. I mean, look, there are unscrupulous people out there who do that kind of stuff, but if the intention is to keep your partner,
of course,
and maybe you've just had a slip in judgment and it's got to that, those little reminders,
they do help,
can stop you from, making a mistake.
Facts.
Yeah. So 4 things to watch out for. Obviously, the top one, as we've mentioned throughout this episode, is the soft and tender clotting of one's cheeks.
Mad.
Obviously, we know that it was a major part, So you have to be aware that your physical intimacy is going to take a nosedive.
Yeah, no facts.
And you have to find ways to supplement it. Enjoy each other when you actually meet up, and like I said, keep little mementos around about your partner. Check in, tap in, those type of things, because that's going to help you feel closer to your partner. Second is that your partner might meet somebody, and you might grow apart as a result of the distance. That's something to bear in mind. And for some people, that's like the death knell where they'd stop trying. I think some people use it as an excuse to be the best partner that they can be, so that their partner don't feel comfortable with anybody else, because they're like, I've got a solid one.
I feel like that's the first thing that you should think of. The first time you have a conversation about long distance relationships, you should think in your head that actually there's a possibility that we could break up. Yeah, I think it's a healthy conversation to have. Do you know what I'm saying? So people don't end up on bad terms.
The second is navigating different time zones. So you might be moving to somewhere where it's morning where you are and evening time where the other person is. And if you're going to stay with each other and communicate with each other, then it's very important that you understand that, navigate that, and still find ways to talk to one another.
That's something that I've never dealt with. I can't lie.
Yeah. So maybe someone has to wake up an hour early, or somebody has to go to bed an hour late just to get that conversation in. And again, if you're trying to do that every day, it's unfeasible.
Yeah, no, exactly.
That's why it's good to plan out and have some time where you can say, okay, maybe once a week, because the time zones are a bit mad, or twice a week, whatever it is. If you're in this situation right now, take the time to talk about how many conversations you're going to have a week, whether they're going to be video calls, phone calls, text messages, and all of that stuff as well. Text works really well, because obviously you can send a text, and when that person reads it, they respond to you when they're there. And then the last one would be stonewalling. So basically, stonewalling is when people weaponize silence.
Okay.
Yeah, so you might find that your partner is not responding to you. And it's bad enough when your partner doesn't respond to you and they're in the same house. Yeah. In the same country. It's even worse when you have all of these ideas of them being unfaithful or falling in love with somebody else. The lack of communication can drive you nuts.
Fair.
So that is something to look at it, and that's something to look at, to bear in mind, and to try and talk about what's going to happen if stonewalling occurs, and what it will mean for the relationship, because you may have a situation where you say, listen, I am not going to tolerate you not speaking to me for 3 weeks. or a month.
That's wild.
Yeah, and if you do that, I will take that as a sign that our relationship has degenerated. Like, you have to stand up for yourself in a relationship. You know?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Because, you know, they always say things like, the person who loves the most ends up getting the most pain.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
but you still have to stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to lose somebody, because that's how you realize that they've made a commitment to you.
Well,
Do you understand what I'm
yeah,
saying?
facts.
So,
Well,
like,
I think
there's some people, sorry to cut you,
No,
but
go.
there's some people who you say, like, listen, I'm going to give you a green pass to sleep with whoever you want. And your partner's immediate response is, why would I do that? Yeah, you tested them and they're committed to you.
Yeah.
If they're like, all right then, cool. Oh, I got a date tomorrow.
I was about to say the answer should always be, why would I do that? That is always the answer.
Yeah. And if not, you're not ready for a long-term relationship.
Yeah, trust.
So yeah. So yeah, that is the episode. I do want to say that there's a blog. Let me read this actually. I want to read this properly. Where am I? Right, there's a link that I'm gonna put in
the video.
not in our video, but on
notes.
our website. Yeah, and it gives you a link to 15 tips for long distance relationships. So if you want that, as well as all of the links to the New York Post stuff, I will put that in the show notes on the website. So you have to visit the website, and the website link, as usual, will be at the bottom of this video. So we've got a couple of listener answers.
Okay, let's go.
Because we put this question on Instagram.
We like the listener answers still.
Yeah.
Give us insight.
So the first one, and I'll read this off my phone.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is, I've been in a long distance relationship, and in my opinion, it doesn't work unless you're both working towards the same goal, marriage. And depending on how long you can go without seeing each other physically, video and phone conversations can only last so long. It also depends on how far apart you both are. Taking flights on a regular basis, if taking flights on a regular basis isn't an option, this is where you will both have to really test your trust in each other. There's literally so much more to it than what I've said. I do, however, think it's a good way to build trust and also not be focused on the physical aspect. Then it might just work.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, that's essentially what we've said.
Yeah, what we said,
Yeah. And then somebody has said, it works fine for me. When we're in each other's company, we enjoy every second of it. And that is beautiful. That is where I want to leave it, because that shows you that it can actually be done if you're willing to put some work in and if the factors are favorable.
Don't do it. No, I'm joking. No, I'm playing.
So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sammy.
My name is Don.
And we've been the family.
Bow.